In a world where political leaders often come and go, few have left as profound a legacy as Jimmy Carter. Born in the small town of Plains, Georgia, on October 1, 1924, his life story is one of humility, service, and resilience. From peanut farmer to President of the United States, Carter's journey is a testament to the power of integrity, compassion, and the belief that one person can make a difference. Jimmy's roots were humble. Raised on a farm during the Great Depression, he learned the values of hard work, dedication, and community from his family. His father, a farmer and businessman, and his mother, a nurse, instilled in him a sense of service to others that would guide him throughout his life. After high school, Jimmy Carter attended the United States Naval Academy, where he excelled both academically and as an athlete. In 1946, he graduated and went on to serve in the U.S. Navy. His military service took him to the edge of the world, working with submarines and serving in key roles in the Navy's nuclear program. In 1946, while still in Annapolis, he met the love of his life, Rosalind Smith. Together, they built a partnership that would last for over 75 years. Rosalind would not only be his biggest supporter, but a crucial collaborator in his journey toward changing the world. In 1953, Carter returned to Georgia, where he took over the family farm after his father's death. Though the business struggled, Carter's hard work and commitment turned it around. But it wasn't just the farm he was focused on. He became deeply involved in his local community, working for better schools, healthcare, and social services. It was here that his passion for public service was born. In 1962, Carter entered the political arena, running for a seat in the Georgia State Senate. His political career was not without obstacles. He faced tough competition, but his integrity, courage, and willingness to stand up for what was right quickly earned him respect. By 1971, Jimmy Carter became the governor of Georgia, where he sought to reform the state government, advocating for racial integration, environmental conservation, and economic opportunities for all. His legacy as governor would be one of change, a desire to bring fairness and justice to a state still grappling with the scars of segregation. In 1976, he took the next leap running for President of the United States. It was a time when the nation was reeling from Watergate, the Vietnam War, and economic instability. Jimmy Carter presented himself as an outsider, someone who would restore the dignity and trust of the American people in government. "I will never lie to you," he told the American people. It was a promise that resonated deeply in a fractured nation. In a tight race, Carter won the presidency, becoming the 39th President of the United States in 1977. During his presidency, Carter faced many challenges. From the Iran hostage crisis to the energy crisis and stagflation, his tenure was marked by turbulent times. Yet, he always maintained a steady moral compass. He brokered the Camp David Accords, a historic peace agreement between Egypt and Israel, earning the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002 for his tireless efforts in diplomacy. Carter's foreign policy was centered on human rights, and he worked to promote peace and democracy around the world, even as his domestic policies sometimes faced setbacks. After leaving the White House in 1981, Jimmy Carter could have faded into obscurity, as many former presidents do. But instead, he embarked on a second career of service. He became a tireless advocate for global peace, health, and education. Perhaps most notably, he devoted himself to Habitat for Humanity, helping build homes for low-income families around the world. His hands-on approach, working side by side with volunteers, became a symbol of his lifelong commitment to helping others. Through the Carter Center, he worked to combat disease, promote democracy, and mediate conflicts. Whether observing elections in developing countries or leading efforts to eliminate diseases like guinea worm disease, Carter's legacy has been one of compassion and action. Even as an octogenarian, Carter's energy and spirit remain remarkable. In his 90s, he continued to work, volunteer, and speak out on issues like climate change, income inequality, and human rights. His example showed us all that the work of a lifetime can be about more than power or prestige. It can be about creating a better world for those who come after us. In 2002, Jimmy Carter was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, a recognition of his tireless work for global peace and his commitment to advancing the cause of human rights. He had come full circle, from a humble farmer to a statesman whose influence reached far beyond the borders of the United States. Jimmy Carter's life is a story of a man who believed in doing what is right, even when it's not easy. A man who dedicated himself to serving others, not for fame or fortune, but because it was the right thing to do. In the end, Jimmy Carter's greatest legacy may not be his time in the White House, but his lifelong commitment to making the world a better, more compassionate place. The inspiring life of Jimmy Carter, a reminder that one person can change the world, and that true leadership is measured not by power, but by the service you give to others.